I'm still showing off here.
I'm showing live, boys.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm just going to go hello and welcome to another edition of Thursday Throwdown, but it's going to be on a Wednesday today because, as usual, Daly has scheduling aids. So with that being said, happy to be here. We have an exciting show today for you. With me, before we get into this, man, with me, I'm just going to do around the horn because we got a couple special guests, but none other special than my co-host, as always, Pale Poner. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. Same old. We had a couple of reschedules this week. I was a little bit disappointed we haven't been able to play yet. We're not going to be able to play until Tuesday, I think. So that kind of sucks. But we're doing good over here. Winter is coming, and I'm just having a fun time right now. Ryan, how you doing over there?
Me, I'm doing great, and I love to wave at my 239 family. I hope that all you guys are having fun, enjoying the last week worth of games. I know that been a lot of great play out there.
And you know that's the thing. Those are my two co-hosts. As always, both those guys are great. But we've got a couple special guests today, making his return after a long hiatus. AC, man, welcome back, dude. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate you guys letting me join you. First thing I want to say, you guys have done an effing amazing job so far to date with the media. It's no insult to the previous regime, but you guys really get this show going. It's really on point. And thanks for letting me join. I really appreciate it.
And the sexiest man is finally back. Everybody can rest easy.
I don't know about that.
Rest easy. And lastly, making his Throwdown debut, putting a face to the name, to the voice, one of your hosts of the Sober Elitists, coming off a tough loss last night. We're going to get into that later.
Wasn't that tough? Wasn't that tough? What are you talking
about? Like, who decided to put us on the same show? That was bad news. That was a bad thing coming. I don't know, but he's here. He's got. I noticed the hat. I see you, Duncan Nuts. I see you. Very clever. Very clever. So, you know what? We've been kind of teasing this for the last couple weeks, and it's fucking time. It's here. The hardware is here. We were gonna debut it next week, but we couldn't wait. The hardware is here. The trophy, whatever you want to call it, it is here, and you're finally going to get to see it. You guys, listen, here's the thing. I'm going to just be real with you. Other leagues talk about it. They say, oh, yeah, we're going to get a trophy. We're going to get something for the winners. And guess what happens? They never do. Oh, no, yeah, you can have a virtual trophy over there. Yeah, that's great, but it's not something physical. We have something physical for the 239 family and the 239 champs. So today, Esoteric, man, please, without further ado, debut that damn thing.
We're going to do it. All right. So, boys, 239 family, first of all, before I debut it, I want to tell everyone here, the guys that put this together, they had a hell of an idea and some pockets, you know what I'm saying? A few deep pockets out there. So here it is. Without further ado, I'm just gonna bring it on here. And bear with me, I don't know how good the camera's going to show this. This is your undisputed championship, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my lighting sucks ass. But as you can see, you've got the side plates on there, all the winners. If you can you see that, Dales?
Yeah, I can see it right there, baby.
You see it good? Yeah, so there's your winners. D-Mart twice, Sober Enough, and Pale Poner. Pale, this is yours, baby. You got the 239 logo on the side plates, boys and girls. Undisputed champion. And I mean, honest to God, you know what? What is more 239 than throwing a fucking title over your shoulder? Pale, this is going to be you. This is going to be you, Pale. Every episode from here on out.
I'm going to be wearing it.
This isn't mine. I just did the legwork. So
everyone.
And I don't know. Again, I don't know how good this is coming over the damn screen, but
Well, you know what we'll put some pictures up because I know we've got some pictures of it.
Yeah,
Obviously,
we do
you have it there.
But it is
We'll
nice.
get picked
It's not
up on
cheap.
the site.
It's not cheesy. It's done right.
Nope.
And it's 239. That's all I can tell you guys.
Now, I love it for so many reasons. As you can see with this thing, guys and gals, that is a physical championship. That says that you are better than everybody else. I don't know about you guys, but I want that damn thing. And I want it like now. I'm ready. So Pale, get your boys ready, man. Get your girls, because I'm coming. Because there's nothing better than being able to strap that thing on this big old chest right here for a whole season. And once it comes to the Chi-Town, whenever that may be, it stays. It stays. So, again, there's a lot of moving parts. A lot of people went into making this great. Just something else, guys, that really sets us apart over here. Where the hell are you going to go and get a championship belt? Nowhere. Nowhere. A freaking belt. Come on, man. I absolutely love it. I was going to wait till the end of the show. I couldn't. I just couldn't wait. So, the way we're doing it, captains, if you win, that belt will be shipped to you. You will have it in your possession. I'm excited for it, man. Pale, are you ready to really kind of show that one off or what, man?
Yeah, I'm so ready, man. This is gonna be fucking awesome. I'm just gonna be wearing this thing around the house like non-fucking stop because this is gonna be so cool. Everybody's gonna see it. I'm gonna have it on the fucking Throwdown every week. It's gonna be hanging over. I'm gonna rub it in everybody's face as much as I possibly can, just because. Cool thing. I think that this is a really, really cool thing for 239. I think it's gonna, be a lot of guys wanting to be captains, wanting to get their hands on this thing. I think it's awesome. Esoteric, thanks for getting it done. You're the man.
Yeah, shout out to Esso on that, man. He did a lot of legwork the last couple weeks to really make sure that got done. I love the colored plates on it, man, too. Like, shout out to who did the work over there?
Place called Crown Trophy in Pembroke, Massachusetts. They did a pretty good job, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Shout out to them, man. Like, we had this crazy idea, and it started with, hey, let's just get a belt. All right, let's just get a belt. That'd be cool. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, man, like, we could get, like, the names of the captains on that belt. Like, okay, let's do that. Cool. And then it was like, wait a minute. I mean, we could get, like, colored logos on there. And now the thing's kind of taken its own spin. It's got its own life. Think about that, man. That belt is going to travel all over the United States. It could end up in Canada. It could be in all these different places, man. There's going to be so much history. That belt is going to be the same belt that Pale has, that Esso has now. You're going to think of all the names attached to it. If that doesn't make you want a captain, then I don't know what else does, man. I mean, I'm ready. I'll probably be captain for the rest of my life.
And how ignorant is it? And how ignorant and arrogant is it that your trophy is it's a fucking belt? That's so ignorant. And it's so perfect for this fucking league and the characters we have in it. Yeah, we could have got a trophy. Come on. Fuck out of here.
Well, I have to say, that belt looks fantastic. I don't know if I'm going to be seeing it in the next 20 years, but it looks beautiful on that screen. And this is to you guys for making that happen. This is
he's
celebratory 239 championship belt in the making. Somebody is getting that this year. Somebody's got to take it from Pale.
Yeah, no, we can't have a repeat, man. I'm ready for it. Like it's almost kind of like I need it. I almost kind of need it. Like, I really that's where I'm at right now. I don't know, but that's just me, man. So shout out to Esso, Sober, Pale, man. You guys did a lot of great work to get that going. So shout out to all of you. And just something else that really, really sets us apart. So awesome, and I'm so pumped. And goddamn it, I wish I had it. Anyways, moving along. I'm going to touch on one more thing before we really dive into the show, because I got a lot of messages after last week's show about what we were discussing, talking about requesting trades and different things like that. I happen to listen to the Sober Elitist every Friday night, 10 Eastern, and I listened to that as well. I heard some choice stuff on there. This is the last thing I'm going to say on the trades, and it's this. We've spent a lot of time, basically the better part of a year developing a culture here and what we want to execute. This is more or less a message to veterans as well as rookies and guys coming in and, wanting to play here and helping us grow this league. The mindset is that we should really be helping the cause. And in my eyes, from what I've seen over the last couple of weeks, I think things could have been handled differently. I've talked to everybody involved with a lot of the stuff. I think we hashed a lot of that out. Difference of opinion is okay. I just didn't want to see a certain sort of trend happen here for my own reasons. Reasons that I think are for the betterment of the league. And I think anybody who's talked to me knows that every decision I make and everything that I say regarding league stuff is because I want to see this place succeed. I want to see this place grow. I've been in leagues for a long time, and I've seen a lot of stuff. So, I just see the makings of something potentially happening. So I voice my opinion. So that's in the past now. I'm going to let it be. You're not going to hear about it anymore. And that's it. We're not going to do the trade thing anymore. I think we beat it into the ground. Poor Tomahawk, man. Dude, I swear to God, we love you so much. I just hope you know that. But moving along. Guys, and I'm going to send this over to Pale. Dude, what is a write-up to you? What is a write-up to you? Because there was a little bit of emo on this on the site today that I saw. In your eyes, when you're doing a write-up, because you've done a lot of them, because you're a winner, what's a write-up to you, man?
Look, when I go into a write-up, I want to give like a good idea of what happened in the series. But the major part of it is being able to have bragging rights. It's being able to throw it out there that we kicked somebody's ass last night. It's fun. It's a comedic thing. It's a fun part of the 239 community, I think. Everybody's kind of just going at each other. It's not none of it is intended to be vicious or totally taking somebody out or something like that, throwing it out there. But it's meant to be a fun thing that you can go back and look at and be like, oh, these guys are shitting all over somebody, and it was a good time. It's all in good fun. It's ball busting.
Yeah. What about you, AC, man? You've been around the block. I mean, you've been an admin. You've been a captain. You've seen it all. What is a write-up to you?
Well, I think Pale covered it pretty good, but from my perspective, a good write-up should embody the captain, and it depends on the captain's personality and what you expect from that person. Personally, the few times I've done write-ups in the past, I try to go a humorous route, and I try to ride the line of maybe making a little bit of a cocky comment on who won and who didn't, as well as just, giving some entertainment. This is what this league, everything we do with this league and video games should be fun first and should be enjoyable. So if you want to ride that line a little bit, then go ahead and do it. I think Pale hit it right on the head. You win, you earn the right to ball bust a little bit. You do it right, you do it respectfully, but you bust some balls. That's the whole point.
This was all for the setup, by the way. Let me tell you what a write-up means to old Dad. A write-up means I don't give a shit what the scores were, what happened. If we won, you're getting it. And guess what happened? I gave the reins to Drift King last night. He did himself a fantastic write-up. Couldn't have done it better myself. And Marty McFly was emo as shit. So all in all, that was a win. Esoteric, what did you think of the write-up?
I loved it. I loved it. Listen, you're not gonna get any. I would expect nothing less, because if you lost last night, if you lost that fucking game 3 last night, which you very well were on your way to losing, by the way, if you lost, if you think that write-up that Drift did was bad, you were getting it. You were getting it. You were getting it. Like you were. You're getting all of it. So I loved it. I loved the write-up. It was great. And congrats to Drift King for staying up so fucking late. He must be exhausted, huh? He must be really tired. Now, who's worse? Is it Drift King or the spineless captain that won't sit him for game 3s?
Listen, man. That's for a different show. I think that's for the elitist show.
It is.
I think that's for the elitist show. Well, you guys do it. You and Sober do a great job on Friday nights. Man. I can't give you guys enough to. Quickly becoming my favorite show on the site. I absolutely love listening to it. Special guests every week. It's awesome. Yeah, man. The thing is, I put myself out there a lot. I think there's no shade on that. Everybody knows that I am how I am. I'd expect nothing less myself. Hugh Laurie literally took my fucking face and photoshopped it into the shape of a penis and had it going into my own mouth. If that is not the epitome of a, I don't know what is. I mean,
we got
guys,
off light. We got off light, Dales. We got off light.
You know, we did. And, you know, Drift King's just not used to winning that much because he had 6 wins last year. So he's a little rusty on the write-ups. All in all, I felt like he did okay. But, yeah, he really didn't hammer it home like he could have. But it was so entertaining, and there were no grammatical errors. So that is a huge win for 239.
That's correct.
Not having this.
Write-ups are supposed to be something fantastic that people use in order to get back at the players they just played. So sometimes you have to take it to them hard. There's no being nice about it.
Oh.
You just have to go in there, you know, as hard as you can, keep pounding away, and let them know that you respect them and that you love them all at the same time. And that's just.
Wait a minute. I'm glad. Look at Pale's face. Oh my God. Okay, well, hang on a second.
I've got to give Ability props for keeping his face stoic during the first 30 seconds of his bit with that image in the background.
God, man.
Wow.
I didn't even notice it until like halfway through his speech. And he's like, yeah, with the write-ups. And then all of a sudden I see my face. And I see Pale doing this grunt little face, man. Oh, God. With that being said, we got Ability's background, which has kind of become like a real thing on the show. If you guys want a picture, if you want to let the man get the reins on it, feel free to send him a picture, man. He's always available on G-Chat. He makes himself super available. We'll probably put a thread up, right, Ability, if people want to put pictures in there for the show?
Absolutely, but I need to give the disclaimer, okay, because there's a couple people that have said that they don't want their photos being used for whatever reasons, job-related. If you don't want your photos being used, please don't give me access to your photos. I mean that wholeheartedly, because if you give me access to it, I feel obligated, just for the fun of this, to do something like that.
Yeah.
Okay? So fair warning.
You know the worst part? I know what selfie that was that I sent. I know exactly what one that was. I send a lot of selfies, man. I don't know why, but I do. I know exactly which one that was. So, again, if you want to be on Ability's background, man, we're going to put a thread up. Put your pictures in there. You know, keep it clean, man. Obviously, I don't care about my face. Pale doesn't care about his. But, you know, let's keep it clean. But if you give the man free reign, I swear he's going to end up doing some crazy-ass shit like that. So, hashtag Ability's background. If you guys are interested, just we'll get it all set up there. So, and are you drinking Patron like cafe? What is that?
All right, so yeah, like what happened here was I don't know. You guys probably heard me talking about it yesterday. I'm not having a good season in net, not by my standards, and my team got swept. So this is going to happen tonight, and I don't even care.
Well, you know, it's funny because that segues us into the next thing. That was inadvertent, but I'm going to run with it here. Let's go over the results of last night's games. There was 3 games on the slate last night. Let's start with the Jaeger Bombs versus Tap It In. Tap It In was minus the demented Spud, who is now their starting lefty. So obviously that hit goes, you know, it hurts. D Swish 3, if I'm correct, he filled in for that game. So no Spud. Plus you have a guy who no one really knows about. Playing a Jaeger Bomb team who's 6-3. They're coming off a series loss to the boys. The thing I noticed about this game, I know you said you got swept Ability, but you had 3 one-goal games there. So you didn't have your full lineup. You had 3 one-goal games. Tell me a little bit more about the series, seeing as you were in it.
The series itself, it was kind of tight, and it wasn't tight because both teams were playing fantastic. It was tight because both teams couldn't keep hold of the puck. That's really what it was, and it was a war. There was a lot of good defensive plays, a lot of great poke checks being made. There was also a lot of penalties that were given up by both teams. So there were several situations where there was either a 3-on-5 or a 4-on-4. I can tell you that at all the players last night, the one that shined through, and I was hating on him hardcore, was Stealth Luca. Man, he took it to me every chance he got, and he didn't miss. The guy, when he had an opportunity.
3-on-5 or a 4-on-4. I can tell.
We're good. Sorry. I had background noise. That was me. My fault.
But B Crits too, man. You know, I don't like to believe in other goalie hype until I see it. And I saw it. I mean, I've tuned into a game or two of his, and he's played fantastic, and last night was no exception. There were several shots that OP Jelly, or Cosmic or Swagger would throw at him, and the guy was all over the place stopping the puck. In fact, I would say that a majority of our goals in that game were a little cheesy, little bit of some EA goals going on. We did get a couple good shots that went in, but it was only a couple. That B Crips guy is the real deal.
Yeah, and I made mention to it. He stole one from us. This kind of brings me to a weird point. I feel okay. So Dunn got on me today. I did my prediction threads like I usually do. And by the way, I apologize. I didn't do tonight's game. We're going to go over those games, but I'm sorry I got busy. The O-Dog is a full-time bit, and he was being an asshole today. So with that being said, Dunn kind of got mad by something I said, and he made that, I know passive-aggressive when I hear it, right? And he made a comment like, oh, yeah, keep flying us under the radar, blah, blah, blah. It's not that you're flying under the radar. It's not that we're underselling. It's just I'm looking at what you've done so far. I'm looking at who you've played. When I see Strictly Business, a team who's obviously been in shambles, when I see the Chilean Raw Doggers who are sitting at, 0-7-2, maybe even worse after the Hugh Laurie series, or 1-9-2, whatever the case is, you're yet to really beat somebody relevant. The one game that you played against a team who is considered to be one of the better teams, that was us, boys, got outscored 10-4, and B Crips absolutely stole game 2. I'm not taking anything away from your defense. I'm just looking at the numbers. So when I see 10 goals, 4-4 against, the comment I made was, I need to see more scoring. Sniper and I have had conversations about it. Luka can't do it all. He's got to give a little that way too. So the response was defense wins championships. And the point I was trying to make is you look at the Vanilla Nut Taps, you look at Winter is Coming, you look at Boys. And those are all teams that are really good defensively, but are scoring more goals than you. Pale, what do you think right now about the Jaeger Bombs? Are they flying under the radar right now, or do you think that we're not giving them enough credit? Oh, I think we might have lost Pale. Okay. Yeah, I think, Pale, you there?
He's talking. Ooh. I just don't think we can hear him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Pale's having some technical difficulties. He was good before the show. I'll send it to you, Esso, man. Obviously, more than anybody. I can be hard on peeps. Do you think the Jaeger Bombs is a real deal team, or you need to see a little bit more, maybe the harder meat of their schedule?
I need to see the harder meat of their schedule. That's no offense. They've obviously done a really good job. They have a good record. Man, I'm used to doing the elitists. I apologize. I don't do stats. I don't look at them. But I'm pretty sure they were like 6-3 last I knew. What is their current record? Do you know?
Yeah, they swept Tap It In last night, so they're 9-3 right now.
Okay, they swept Tap It In. That's a team that just acquired Swagger and Dicko. I had questions about Tap It In as far as you've got 3 players over there now that I deem to be like the same type of player in Swagger, Dick, and Cosmic. And how is that going to work? Well, I think you saw it last night. I think the Jaeger Bombs swept them off the ice, right? So I do think they're for real, but I want to see them play the big dogs. I want to see them start playing, the teams you were talking about there. But other than that, I think they will be there. They're not missing playoffs. That's obvious. And they could make some noise, too. They got a good squad.
Well, what about you, AC, man? I know you've been away for a bit. Have you had a chance to look at some of the rosters? You got Dunn, you got Luka, you got Sniper playing forward, Valcourt, BC Renton, and then B Crips, who you obviously know as well from other leagues. Do you think this team, looking at it on paper at least, is a legitimate contender?
Yeah, I would say it's hard to be considered a team flying under the radar when you're in second. Now, we can make comments about what teams they've played yet or haven't played, but at the end of the day, they're second in a league of 12. And from my perspective, a lot of these people on this list, I know from this league, other leagues. B Crips is an elite goalie, bar none, no question. Stealth Luka, elite forward, no question. Valcourt is a good veteran, well liked, good at the game. You don't know, he's proven himself in this league. BC Renton, I think, is an underrated defenseman, solid guy. And Sniper, again, these are quality veterans that have played in many leagues and have performed and done well in every league they've been in. So I don't think they're a flyby under the radar. I think they're legit, and they're going to be top 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's tough because at the end of the day, yes, they're in second right now. Winter is Coming, I think, has games in hand. I think Black Sails has games in hand. So you're looking at second, could realistically be down to 4th or 5th, but I think AC nailed it. I still think they're a top 5 team. I don't think that they're going under the radar. I was simply making the statement they need to have more offense. And the rebuttal was, well, defense wins championships. And I argue that the 4 or 5 teams that I'm looking at potentially being ahead of them have as good defense, if not better defense. That was more or less the point I was trying to make. So a lot of these guys or a lot of these teams have good defensive units. And I'm looking at Wolfpack HC too, who had a rough series last night, as well versus the Dead Presidents, which takes us to our next game here. I quit with McGill's teams. I just threw my pen down. I quit with McGill's team because every year I can never figure him out. It's McGilla. I go into it saying he's going to have a good draft. He always makes the playoffs. He's an OG. I love him sexually. We're from the same place. He's awesome. And then he, loses 6 games in a row. So then, like anybody would, I go against him. I fade him. And he freaking wins 2 out of 3 against a team that I thought was on the up and up. So I got to talk to Shock earlier today, who's captain of the Wolfpack, and this is an exact direct quote that I got from him. As you guys know, I've got the inside info on everything. Talk to everybody. Here's a quote that I got from Shock earlier today. He goes, "You can say this about the series. McGill must be 239's new EA voodoo witch because his EA goal curse fell upon my team. Never seen so many EA goals in a series in my life." Right out of the mouth of your captain, AC Shock. Now, were you in the series last night? Can you elaborate a little on that?
So, I'll be as PC as I can. There were EA goals on both sides. Unfortunate for McGilla's team, there was a horrible EA goal to end the first game, which was tied 3-3. We scored, quote unquote, with 0.2 seconds left to win. Second game was a shit show. There was several EA goals against us. Third game was pretty tight, but my opinion, the game winner was an EA quality goal. But at the same time, that's what happens in this game. It's going to go for you. It's going to go against you.
Yeah. And that's a big thing. I hear the EA bit all the time, but at the end of the day, you got to play through it and kind of make it work. Pale, what do you think, man? Were you a little shocked by the Dead Presidents being able to pull it out versus the Wolfpack last night?
Wolfpack and AC's team, or Wolfpack and the Dead Presidents, they're both playoff teams in my opinion, and I picked the Dead Presidents as one of the better teams in the league. They don't have John Monkey. They just made a trade for Sober. So I think they probably have a little bit of problems, maybe meshing. They made a couple of moves. They're not have their regular unit in. And Shock's team is all on the same page. They're all ready to go. So to be honest, I was a bit surprised that Shock actually lost this series. Dead Presidents, I think, is a really good team. I think they're going to continue to be a good team, and I think they're going to make playoffs. But I think Shock's team is the real deal. And I think Wolfpack is going to be a contender for the Cup this season. So if I want to say that I'm shocked that the Dead Presidents won, yeah, a little bit. I don't know if it's really shocked. I think we saw a really good matchup last night, and I think we'll continue to see good play out of both those teams going on the rest of the season.
Before I go to a belt, can I just say something, man? I'm so fucking pumped about that belt. I wish I literally had it right here. I wish that, yeah, go ahead, Asso. Give me a clap. Just clap it.
I mean, it's solid, boys. This is no joke. Look at the logo.
Oh,
Look at the 239 logo. It's right there. My lighting sucks, but it's right there. Look at the fucking names. Look at the names on this belt. Look at that.
The greats, man. Those are seasoned vets.
All the fucking greats are there.
Daly,
I love it.
Sorry, man. Do you mind if before we go to ability, just to echo what Pale said and kind of following your comment, by no means I don't think our team is using the EA goals as an excuse. I think you were dead on in saying that happens, you play through it. There was plenty of opportunities for us to counter those goals and score. And I do think that both teams played a really good series. And to think that we were going in to be the odds-on favorite with the talent on that other side, I don't think was a fair assessment. I just think it was a good series, and both teams benefited, and both teams had some shitty play.
Yeah, and again, it's weird. So when I do my write-ups, man, I have to take into account the now. And so even if on paper I'm looking at a team and I'm seeing like, okay, yeah, you see, Sober and I see Biko and I see, Cody and McGilla and Jofus. Like, yeah, man, those are legends, but they've lost 6 in a row, and that weighs at a certain point. So I think, too, some of my basis on that prediction was Wolfpack's coming off a big series win and McGilla's coming off an 0-6 run against 2 sweeps. I mean, that's trap game written all over it. But that was a lot of my basis. Ability, what do you think, man? I know you're a big McGilla guy. Did you think that the Dead President was it a surprising win over the Wolfpack, or is that how you kind of pictured it happening?
Well, first I have to say there's 2 people that won't be acquiring that belt anytime soon, and it's these 2 lovely gents behind me. Good luck, fellas. But
who's
I don't
that
think it's
fucker
going to
on the
happen
left
for you.
there?
Oh man, that's I got Yam
bag.
Oh, it's Yam. Jesus Christ. What's on his fucking head?
Oh, well, hey, he told me I could take pictures off of his Facebook, so I did it at my disposal. That's what I said. Don't give me access to your photos, man. You're asking for trouble.
I have nicer tits. I like it.
Okay, going back to this series, though, I have to say that the biggest shock of this series was that the Dead Presidents pulled this off without John Monkey. I mean, that guy put up 7 goals in his first 3 games, and that's all he's played. If he was in this series, I don't even think we'd be talking about if this was a shock or not. I think they would have dominated the series. And I say that because of the assist total that the Dead Presidents are putting up. They've got 4 players that are over. I mean, shoot, I think they got, 4 players that have double-digit assists, and Sober sitting there with 9. So they're passing the puck like you wouldn't believe, and then they're getting the scoring opportunities off of that. In the reverse of that, the Wolfpack, I think they've got 2 or 3 players, 2 players that have branched into double digits on the assist total. Just a little less of moving the puck to the right person at the right time. So by that statistic, I'd say that this really was a no-brainer. If you were doing it by the numbers, you would have taken the Dead Presidents just based off the stats. But based on the caliber of the 2 teams and the players involved, you got your Drug Monkey, you got your AC. I mean, you got high-caliber players on this team. So I don't know. It all depends on how they match up and how they're able to score the puck. And obviously this one was a little bit sloppy from the sounds of it, but I don't think it was a shock. I think the Dead Presidents statistically should have won the series.
Now, guys, let's just address the elephant in the room with the Dead Presidents, and you just touched on it. John Monkey is going to be back next week, okay? So you have a logjam. Devil's locked in at net. Seems like Jofus and McGill are on D. Okay, cool. That we know. John Monkey, Cody, Biko, Sober. By that number and by those players, unfortunately, if you're asking me who's odd man out, it's going to be Cody, and here's why. Sober is a guy that can finish. Biko's obviously locked that center spot down, and John Monkey's proven chem with those guys. So unfortunately, it seems like Cody's going to be the one kind of fighting for a spot. I don't know what availabilities have coming up, but the unfortunate thing is that there's going to be a good player sitting on the bench. Pale, why don't you elaborate a little bit on this? I know it's something you and I had talked about off air. Some of these trades that had transpired has basically put a good player on a bench. No matter what happens, no matter who gets traded, it's going to happen that way.
Yeah, I mean, McGilla's got to make a move. He's got too many cooks in the kitchen almost. Like, he's got 4 really good forwards, and Cody can be a really good defenseman as well. Listen, somebody's going to be sitting if there's not a move made soon. And I mean, obviously McGill is not going to take shit value for one of his players. There's no reason to do that. But even something has to change where one of these guys is going somewhere. Like, he's going to try and make an upgrade, his lineup somewhere. But I mean, I don't really know where it is. You got McGilla and Jofus on D. Neither one of them are moving unless Jofus is moving up the forward, which he could potentially do. But I don't know. I don't know where the change comes. I don't know who you deal. I mean, you've got like 5 first-round picks on it. Like, I don't know where he goes from there.
Now, Jofus played forward last night.
Did he? So was Cody on D?
Yeah, so first game they had a waiver because I believe they were using Marine Mike. And then game 2 and 3, Jofus played forward. And I'm almost positive Cody played defense.
Yeah, and they have versatility on that team, which is tough. I'm going to say something that I know Esso hates when I say. I think if McGill is smart, he's going to lose a trade to win a trade. That's what he needs to do right now. So what McGill needs to do is figure out, okay, listen, I know that I'm going to get less value for my player, okay? But in getting less value, I'm going to make sure that I fill a need. So what's that need going to be? And in my opinion, if I'm McGill, I'm trying to maybe get myself a part-time player. I got a call come through. That's going to be, in hindsight, he's going to get maybe not the better player, but he's going to give Cody an opportunity to go play somewhere. And on top of that, he's going to get something that's going to fit his system a little bit more. You know, you already have a versatile player in Jofis who can play pretty much all wings and right D. Cody's that same versatile player, which is nice to have. But again, at the same time, there's too many cooks in the kitchen. I agree with Pale. So I think that McGill might end up having to lose a trade to win a trade, ultimately to get that perfect fit guy to really fill in for his system and what they need. I know people are going to disagree with me on that, and that's fine. But if I was captaining that team, that would kind of be my focus. I'd look around the league, see who's a guy who's attainable, and who can I pitch and say, listen, I'm giving you maybe the better player here. You're getting a guy that's going to give you full-time ice, and I'll take that because that piece fits me. That piece suits me a little bit more. So I call it losing a trade to win a trade, which is something that I've done in the past. So I think that needs to kind of be the focus maybe for McGill and try and find a trade like that. Personal opinion, but I know people will disagree with me on that. So congrats to Dead Oh, go ahead.
No, my fault. Yeah, so I think it shows a little bit of loyalty to one of his guys, though, too. I mean, like, you've got 6 good players on your team that can all make somebody's starting roster. Maybe you lose a trade so that one of these guys can have the opportunity to play a full season. I mean, it's a little bit of politics there, but I think that might be something that's a little bit necessary.
Yeah, and again, it's something to think about. Again, I mean, if he's sitting on your bench, if your guys are showing up, I don't know what the availabilities are. This could all be for nothing. So we'll leave it at that. Last series of last night, boys versus the Manila Nut Taps, man. I'll just be real. 3-1 final, 3-2 final. Excuse me. Doesn't get much closer than that. Knew it was going to be a dogfight. The Nut Taps Esoteric brings in Marty McFly. He brings in, he brought in Peaceful Bob, who wasn't there last night, but The Rock impressed the hell out of me. Shout out to The Rock, man. He had a great series back there. You get Murph in there on left wing, who can really change a game as well. All joking aside, in our write-up, I mean, it was a tight series. They came out and they were ready, man. The pressure was on. They were closing up lanes. It was a really, really tough series. I'll send it over to you, Ability, man. I know that you've seen the boys play. I know you've seen the Nut Taps play. Were you kind of surprised by the series? 13 total goals in this series through 3 games between the two teams. Does that shock you a little bit, or is this kind of how you expected the series to go? No, I would have expected more, to be honest with you. This would have been a series that, and man, I know it's rough because you're on the show. Okay, it's not a big deal, man. But I would have taken boys to have had a blowout here. A couple of things changed, right? So you pick up Marty and you move Marty to a forward position. I'm not going to say I'm not jealous of that, right? Because that's where he belongs, that kid. He's great. But I think that with my knowledge of watching Odd Guy and Daly play the defensive position, and I got to touch on this real quick. I know that he's been getting razzed on a lot for talking about his cat in parties recently. I think it's Pacino is his name. But I wanted to let you know, Steven, that regardless of whatever kind of criticism or shit talking and banter you get from Daly, you got fans out there, bro. You got fans that believe in you and how good you are. And I just wanted to let you know, bro, that I am one of those fans. Okay? So you got that God, no.
Yeah.
But Ability's pumping tires, man.
I'm literally sick to my fucking stomach.
Esso's fuming.
Are you shitting me?
He's
no, man.
Over there.
He works those long, laborious days, man.
Ability, you will never touch this fucking thing. You will never touch this, Ability.
Oh man!
As soon as he pulled up the S shirt, man, I knew Esso just like threw up in his mouth. Oh my god, man!
I did, man.
That's
Just
great.
in my mouth. Shit's
How you
bad.
like my shirt, bro? No, seriously. I know Steven's been getting razzed hard. I think he needed a little bit of showmanship, so I'm going to give that to him because he is a fantastic goalie. I know that you guys praised yourself, you and Odd Guy, because you're talking Odd Guy up left and right. So Steven really does probably feel like he's just like back there like, man, these guys hate me. They're taking all the credit. But you're playing fantastic, kid. Keep it up. As far as the series goes, Esso's team, it needs improvement because you just got done swapping out half your team just like I did. I know what's going on my end. You guys aren't picking up the pieces and playing perfect hockey right now. It takes time to develop that. I think you played them extremely tough for just having that happen. And I'll give you guys props on that because you're able to take one game. And in my opinion, that's like getting a piece of gold handed to you. I mean, so congrats on that. But no, the boys probably should have swept this series in all honesty, just based on the way that they've been playing. And Rome is no joke. He's been playing fantastic hockey the last few days. I would say longer than that, but I've been playing with him the last few days. He's been playing fantastic. So no, I think this went just probably about the way it should have.
Well, what do you think, AC, man? Like I said, I know you're kind of wheeling back in and checking all the stuff. When you look at the two rosters, are you surprised by the outcome, or is it kind of what you expected?
Just to clarify, did Murph play last night?
He did. Yep.
Yeah, he did.
So then, yeah, I would say that score is exactly what I would expect from these two teams. What I find and what I notice with elite players is when they start playing against comparable talent, you get solid defensive style games where it's no one's going to score unless someone makes a mistake. So you're not going to see a blowout score when you got two well-matched teams. And Murph, I've seen him play in other leagues. He is a good, solid two-way center. He knows the game from both sides. So I'm assuming, I don't know, I wasn't in the game, and you guys can correct me, both you guys are in it. I assume Murph played a pretty good, solid two-way game if the scores were that low.
Murph was excellent.
Well, I'll send it over to Esso, man, and let him get it in real quick because I've been nice to you, man. Nicer than I could have been. I've been nice, so go ahead, man.
I didn't ask for it, for the record. I didn't ask for you to be nice. I came on Throwdown, and you're disappointing me. All right?
Well, no, it's coming.
I almost came on the show with a fucking bag over my head. You understand? I almost had a bag over my head when we talk about this series, but I got the belt, and it wasn't meshing. No, AC, to answer your question, Murph was excellent last night in all three zones. You're going against the island, right? But he was great. I can't tell you how many times he picked off passes, lanes, and for partial breakaways. Made a couple of nice dangles. Windmill deked Daly a little bit there for a big goal to go up 2-0 in Game 3. He was great, though. Seriously, in all seriousness, man, I feel like I stole him off Murph's team. And people on Church of Yam were complaining about no chem. You hear that, Yam? No chem. We have plenty of chemistry with Murph. And just to hit on what you said earlier, ability, we're 4-2 since trading half the team away. So we're happy where we're at. We played two great teams, and McGill's squad, and obviously Daly's the top squad in the league. So we're happy to be 4-2 since we made the trade, and we're going to get better.
Thanks for taking half my team, bro. Appreciate that.
As he takes a shot, do one for the homies. # raindrop. # pow.
Can I go get a drink, by the way? I'm going to get a drink.
I mean, might as well.
Don't talk too much shit about me while I'm gone. You want to look at the belt while I'm gone? You want to take another look at it?
I love this guy. Oh man.
Come on, maybe I just set it up.
I think it's.
Well, I'm gonna.
Go ahead, Daly. Sorry, bud.
No. Well, I was gonna ask Pale because I want Esso to be sitting here when I give my breakdown of the series. So Pale, what do you think, man?
Well, boys has been a well-oiled machine, for the whole season, as we expected, and just changed half their fucking team. I mean, look, they took a game from you guys, and that's all that counts anyway. They did, right? It was 2-1 series.
Yeah, 2-1 series, 2-1.
Yeah.
And they were up 2-0 going into the third in Game 3. By the way, how did that end out?
So I mean, look, the Vanilla Nut Taps, they made a lot of changes, and a lot of things happened for them. I saw that Murph play. That was a pretty exciting one. He went in and out on Daly and odd guy on that one to get in front of Drift and score a nice goal. That was pretty sweet. But I think that the Villanova Nutsaps are going to be a pretty good team. I think they're going to be a playoff team, and I think they're going to be okay. Look, that shit happens when you play the best team in the league, and when they're going at each other, and anything happen. They played you guys tight, and I think that's going to be an indication of how they do the rest of the season. What do you got, Dales?
Well, he's not back yet because he knows what's coming. So
he's back now.
He's taking his time getting his drink. But here's the thing, man. Let me go with the pros. Played a hell of a defensive series. Esoteric did, and I have my notes written down here. Esoteric was way better in the dot than I thought he was going to be. I'm going to be honest. When he plays center with me, he's fucking AIDS. But when he plays center against Rome, apparently, he knows how to take faceoffs. So that's a thing. That's good to know. So he was great in the dot up until game 3. But 1 and 2, he actually out face-off Rome, who I consider to be one of the best at that. Defensively, Dirac filled in nicely. I feel like him and Peaceful Bob, you're going to get a very similar game. I think Peaceful Bob's a little bit more fine-tuned, so I think that did hurt them. If they would have had Bob, maybe some of the plays wouldn't have went a certain way. But Moose is a monster back there, so he was making up for a lot of mistakes that may or may not have happened. Great lane coverage all night. Breakouts were really, really tough. I know Odd and I talked after game 1 and really settling it down because they were filling the lanes really, really tight, and there wasn't a lot of room. So one of the adjustments we made, I said, when you see the lane, take it, because if you wait, they're going to pick it off. And that's what was happening in game 2. Murph picked off like 3, I think, if Vessel can recall, trying to go to me on the right D, and Murph was right there to pick it off 3 or 4 times.
He did that like 3 or 4 times at least, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just game 2, and I told the guys, we got to make adjustments. Game 1 and 2 were tight. Honestly, I felt like it was flip-flop. Game 1, I feel like we should have won, and game 2, I felt like you guys should have won, but it didn't work that way. It was weird. Like, if you look at all the stats and everything, the tape would have said that should have been flip-flopped. And then game 3, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we out-attacked you heavily the game that we lost. But it was the other way around, the game that we won. Made kind of no sense. The 3-1 games,
You don't say. That happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened for each of us, dipshit.
Yeah.
Superman. Hey, read that. Read this, fucking asshole. This is who you're dealing with. I'm on Daly now.
Hey,
that is a bona fide. Yeah, it's a bona fide dickhead on the screen, man. He's even got it on his damn shirt. Like, I mean, look at his picture. He's smiling with the dickhead thing. Ugh. Anyways, game 3, let's just put it this way. They went up 2-0 going into the third, man. And again, just reiterating, simple. If you ask anybody on any team that I've ever captained, I always tell my guys, keep it simple. We don't need to be crazy out there. Simple. Quick. And I think we did a really good job in the third period of doing that. We had 2 quick goals in the second off penalties. I think Esoteric tripped me. I think that happened. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter.
No,
but we scored 2. Okay.
But good try.
You were in the box twice.
I know that ruined your
narrative.
narrative.
Twice.
I know that ruined your narrative.
No.
Yeah,
You tripped me twice. No.
I did, yeah, but it didn't result in goals either time because my team plays good D.
We scored more goals than you, though, didn't we?
We scored 1.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, 1.
Well, I'm sorry, Dominator. What, Dom? What?
No,
I didn't hear you.
No, the difference between me and Dominator Silva is huge. And let's not forget, just to defend Dominator Silva, his team did win the cup that year. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Right. That's only because I went to visit a certain somebody and fucking Kristaps. He's not in the league, man. Shout out to Kristaps.
Shout out to Chris for just staying the fuck out of our league, dude. Honestly, thank you. Yes.
Shout out to Kristaps, man. He shows up, but shit, man. Anyways, sorry for going to Boston that week. I regret it, but I don't because I got Charlie Blackman that weekend. Anyways, man, it was a tight series, but guess what? What happened? That's what I thought was going to happen. We were going to win the series, keep the undefeated streak alive in the regular season for an old dad captain team. Then we move on to the next one, which Pale Poner, looking forward to that next week as well. But we are not doing that today because we have 3 games on the slate tonight. one of which is semi-toilet bowl-esque, although it's not quite. It's pretty close. It's going to be our toilet bowl of the week, and that is the Chilean Raw Doggers, led by Gunny, and Strictly Business, led by Tomahawk, who I'm not quite sure if his internet is fucking fixed yet. With that being said, the Raw Doggers have a very, very, very new look. You have Amazing Viper, Blue Liner, Hollywood Bob, who I've been told is centering that line. You got Rev Hellcat on lefty. Gunny seems to be the lock for net. Apparently he's pretty good at it now from what my sources are telling me. And then you got Edge, obviously the first round pick here. I'm really, really liking the way that this team looks. On paper, I think that they've gotten a lot better. And then you go down to Strictly Business. Obviously, Desired Customs was the big piece in that trade there. You got Black Sook, who I'm assuming is going to be playing right D for them. Mac North, No Life Gauge, who I've also heard is playing D. Figo whenever he decides to show up. Tomahawk and Wizzy Warman. The Raw Doggers are lower in the standings right now, but I like them tonight. Pale, what do you think? Raw Doggers or Strictly Biz?
I guess it depends. If Figo is playing tonight, I think I got Tomahawk squad. If it's somebody else, I think it's the Raw Doggers. I mean, Figo's the difference maker on that squad. You know, you picked him up in the 6th round. He's a good guy. He can play. He can be the guy on a line, and he's the big difference maker. They need him. So if he's playing tonight, I got Tomahawk's team. I think that's the difference. And but I really like Gunny's new lineup. I like the way his D is working out with Blue Liner and Hellcat, if that's what it's going to be, or even if it's Gunny and Hellcat and with Blue Liner and Net. I think he really solidified that position, and he had some struggles with that early. I think he actually played Edge and Net in a series, which I mean, obviously you're not wanting your first round left wing and Net for a series. So I like what Gunny did. I don't know how these two teams are going to come out. I don't know how Gunny can turn this season around from where he's at right this second. But yeah, so that's my pick. If Figo's playing tonight, I got Tomahawk. If he's not, then I got Gunny's squad. What do you think, Tarek?
Yeah, give it to the guy.
I think the Raw Doggers are going to pull it out tonight. I like the new lineup too. I think it's going to be 2 out of 3. I think they're going to take 2 out of 3. Rev was fired up earlier. Her in DC, I saw her in the chat box earlier today. They were kind of firing back and forth at each other. We're getting ready for the series tonight. She's got to be the difference. I mean, she was the big trade piece. So in my opinion, as far as DC for Rev, those were the 2 big pieces there, as you touched on with DC. But I think she's got to step it up. I think she's got to help out the D. She's pretty dynamic offensively too on the back end when she wants to be. So I got them tonight, whether Figo plays or not, because both teams, let's face it, are in a little bit of turmoil. If it was Figo in Brick City, we know, but this is Figo without Brick City. So I want to see him in you too, Pale. I see you chuckling over there.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So that's what I got.
Well, ability, man, they did. Chilean Raw Doggers stole a game from Black Sails. I mean, minus Hugh Laurie, but it's Hugh Laurie. I mean, it's whatever, right? Sorry, James. I love you. But ability, what do you think, man? Are you liking the Chilean Raw Doggers? Does Tomahawk's team have a chance? Is this going to be a lopsided series? What do you think, man?
Well, I'm actually a big fan of this one specific player. I don't think gets enough props. In fact, I've even heard kind of lopsided opinions recently. From what I thought was a lock at the left D position. She's fantastic, and that's Rev Hellcat. My take here on this matchup is basically I do not feel Strictly Business has the firepower to get it done. I don't think Figo is the same player without Brick City. It's not converting into this season so far. Maybe 10 games from now I'll change my mind on that. But as it sits right now, I think that the changes that Gunny made to his squad, along with Viper, he's sitting here at 10 goals, 7 assists. He's creating opportunities for the team. Gunny playing net, he's putting up pretty decent numbers. better numbers than I would have expected him to put up. And if he continues playing that good, then I don't see any reason why they don't win this in a 2-1 spread. And that's the way I'm going to take it. The Chilean Raw Doggers 2-1 over Strictly Business. A lot of this is going to come down to how well the offense plays for the Raw Doggers. I don't know. I haven't got to watch their games yet, but I might tune in tonight to give it a peek. And even though Esoteric called me a dickhead, I'm going to agree with him on this one.
AC, man,
I love your ability, by the way. You're not a dickhead. Wait a minute. Real quick, before we go anywhere else with the show, and I'm going to hijack it for 2 seconds, Marty McFly and I have a huge fucking bone to pick with you, ability, at that piece of shit golf course you created. Go ahead. Finish the show.
Oh, my God. He comes in here hijacking the show over a made-up golf course.
Marty was a plus 22 after 12 holes.
Well, I mean, that game I heard is pretty tough. AC, what do you think, man? The Raw Doggers, Strictly Business. Who do you like in this one?
So I'm gonna go with the consensus here, and I think most of the analysis is bang on. This is going to be the Raw Dogs 2-1. I think the key to this game is going to be the defensive pairing that Gunny goes with, and it's going to be boiled down to who has the best chemistry as a D pair, because he can go himself and Rev Hellcat put Blue in net, or put himself in net and go Rev Hellcat and Blue. I think the pickup of Hellcat is the transition for this team if they're going to go anywhere. And Blue was recently picked up too. He was a secondary trade, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So I think those two trades in order is the importance is Rev Hellcat first, Blue second, and it's going to be depending on what pairing works best for him. But I think it's going to be a 2-1 series win for the Raw Dogs.
I feel like the one thing that we're kind of not talking about in this whole thing is Edge. The first-round pick for Gunny is playing his off wing. Now, I know he can play everywhere. That's fine. I know that. But his best position is left wing. And when you draft a guy in round 1, he needs to be playing his best position. Now, I know Vipers refuse the world besides left wing, and he's very good at left wing. Hollywood Bob will probably center that line. Gunny might even center that line. Who knows? But Edge playing right wing, I think that's tough to take. If you're going to take D-Mart in round 1, you're not putting him at center, right? You're putting him at right wing because that's where he plays. So I feel like when you do that, again, shout out to Edge for being so versatile, but his down click of a season could very well be attributed to, not playing his right wing. And that's just me looking at it. I've got the Raw Doggers still nonetheless. I like the lineup makeup a little bit better, but I just noticed that now he's been playing right wing this season. And he played a couple games in net. So, again, kind of weirdly being used. But I want to touch on Figo, man. He's one of those players who now is kind of attached to Brick City and that Han shot first. We know he's a good player, right? But he's always going to be attached. Sort of like Esoteric having a career playing with X Daly. He'll probably never touch those goal numbers again. But I kind of see where Figo's, where it's going with that. But, it's tough for Figo, especially being the schedule that he has. He doesn't even really get to prove himself. Now, when he's there, they have to win those games because this is still could be a playoff team. Again, 8 teams make it, so really only 4 are out. There's a really good chance they can make it, and it starts tonight. I've got the Raw Doggers, but again, when Figo play, man, he has to change the game. Figo, Mac North, and Desired Customs is not a bad forward lineup. I know Blacks, you can play a little D. Wizzy War is going to have to play some D too. But again, the forward lineup at least doesn't look terrible. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Sorry, so I had to take the shot there, man.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fact, though, right? It's fact.
Sure.
I mean, that's what it is. It's fact. Moving along, we have the ever-struggling Church of Yam. And, I'm going to give Yam some due really quick. I'm going to give Yam some due because people like to shit on Yam back, and I'm pretty much at the front of that list because it's so easy, because he makes it so easy. But the fact of the matter is that this guy always makes the playoffs. You can love him, you can hate him, you can say whatever you want about him, but he always makes the playoffs. He doesn't win because he's Yam bag, but he always makes the playoffs. So thinking anything else, I look at this team at what are they, 1-7-1. I don't have the standings up right now. To me, this is still a team that's going to compete. They're still going to compete. Why? Because he does it every year. He makes the playoffs every year, just like McGill does. Two captains always do it. Unfortunately, they're playing the meat of their schedule right now. They've played boys. They've played Winter Is Coming. They're playing the Black Sails tonight. These are the meat teams, guys. These are the meat teams. Pale, what do you think about Church of Yam versus Black Sails tonight, man?
Yeah, so, I mean, Yambag kind of has the opposite thing going on that Jagerbombs does. Jagerbombs came into the year, and they're playing the guys that I kind of projected to be outside of the playoffs looking in. And Yambag is coming into the season. He's playing all of, my opinion, the top teams in the league all up front. So I believe that Yambag's team can make the playoffs. It depends on whether they self-destruct or not after this brutal stretch that they're going through right now. Does Black Sails have Hugh Laurie tonight? I'm assuming they do.
Yeah, Golden Cock is back. Although he's not the Golden Cock anymore, but he's back. And he ate $21 worth of Chinese food today. I saw the fucking picture. He's a bachelor for the week. $21 in Chinese food. And he goes, I'm going to save half for tomorrow for breakfast. Fuck that. You ate it all in one sitting. Sorry, go ahead, Dale.
So I think Black Sails is probably going to take it to Church of Yam tonight still. Maybe they pull off the win. I think that they could probably take one from Black Sails. But I do think that Church of Yam is a playoff team. I think that they sneak in there at the 8th seed. They're a bubble team. Whether they go far in the playoffs or not is totally up to them. But, yeah, I think 2-1 series is in order. I think they start moving forward tonight. I think they've got the Jagerbomb on the schedule for next week and stuff. So I think Church of Yam starts turning around tonight.
And hey, this just in. It looks like Yam's gonna have to use a waiver tonight as well. Drop to Crap, and this is coming just in through my headset here. Drop to Crap is missing tonight for another league. So there will be no drop on D tonight. That's unfortunate to hear. So hopefully Yam and the boys can get it done. AC, what do you think, man? No drop. I know you know him from other leagues. That's definitely going to be a struggle on the D side now. You got Agent, you got Middle and that Dominator Silva up front. Zlo, Zlo for Murph. That was the move, man, and Esso's calling robbery. But do you think Church of Yam has any chance tonight versus the Black Sails?
Winning the series, no. And I don't say that to disrespect that team, because looking at that roster, I can't understand why they're 1-7. Like, that doesn't register for me. But seeing who they're playing, and I don't know the dynamics of what was going on with the team and chemistry-wise, but I can't say that Yam won that trade. In my opinion, Yam lost that trade hard. I know Murph from other leagues. I know his personality sometimes can conflict with people, but the kid knows the game. And you heard Esoteric say he's a freak all three zones. So I just don't see. It must have been a chemistry thing. So, but I kind of think Pale hit it on the head that they have a potential to become a little more successful when they start playing the lower end of the league, as you want to say, in terms of if you split them up in halves. But I don't see them winning the series tonight. No, maybe a game.
What about you? Yeah, I mean, what about you, Ability, man? I'll only give my opinion in a second, but what do you think, Ability, man? You got D-Mart, you got Hugh Laurie. I mean, that team is pretty solid all around. I don't know if No Cause is playing tonight. Do you think that they have any chance tonight versus Black Sails?
I'm starting to wonder if Dominator Silva isn't pulling like a shoeless Joe Jackson to get out of this team. I mean, because I would assume that through 9 games he'd have more than 8 points. Aren't you a Dominator Silva? Okay. Anyhow, I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm rooting for Agent. I want Agent to have that comeback victory, reach the finals against Pale, and dang it, get a hold of that belt. It's not looking like that's going to be the case, okay? Like, I'm really pulling for that. Zlo, he got traded off my team originally, right? The kid has 9 points through 6 games. He's a good player. I don't think that anybody got crushed in that trade. I think that Zlo's going to fit in nicely if they throw him on offense. This is going to give Agent and Dominator Silva someone who's going to pass the puck and create opportunities, and that might be the key they need to really get this going. Now, to touch on something you guys already did, if they get through this extremely tough stretch that they're in, And by the time they're through it, they're crushed. They're not going to make the playoffs because they're going to get walked on by teams that are close to being competitive. That's my take on that. I think that tonight, though, you got to give D-Mart some props, and you got to give Burks some props because they're putting up big numbers over here. They're going to win this series easily. I'm going to go with the clean sweep. I don't think that Church of Yam has any chance tonight, and I know that's kind of harsh, but I just don't see it happening. Joe Thornton, shout out Joe Thornton. That dude plays
Joe.
D.
Shout out to Joe.
Everybody shout out Joe Thornton, please. Shout out Joe.
Shout out Joe.
Hey, Joe.
What up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on?
But
guys?
I mean, he's holding up that defense. There's no chance tonight for the Church of Yam, and I mean, unless you guys say a prayer or something.
Yeah, I'm in the same. I think there's a lot to I say this, but there's a lot to like about that. I'm gonna call Dom out, not in the way that you think. I've said it before, man. If you're a first-round guy and value yourself as a first-round guy, which I know that Dominic Silva does, and he has the skill set too, he's got to change the game. And I know Zlo was the guy that he requested through my sources. So now you've got him. This is a guy that you went on record saying that you had amazing chemistry with and good chemistry with. I know it's been some time, but they got to get it back quick, man. I think a win for them tonight is winning one game. I forget winning the series. I think winning a game tonight puts them in the right direction, knowing that they can compete, and that starts with getting a win. They need the win for the points, obviously. That's not rocket science out here. But that's where I am, and I think it starts with Dominator Silva. Ability touched on his numbers. I just think he struggled, man. It's just you see new players coming in, and then there's new D-man here, a new forward there. I think this is his time to shine, man. And he has this canny ability to create space, and that's what I need him to see tonight. Create some space and make everybody around him better, and that's what a first rounder really should be doing. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be a tough series, especially versus Black Sails. But I'm rooting for Church of Yam, but if I'm using my brain, I'm going Black Sails here. So last series of the night, Pale Poner's winner is coming, who's playing ridiculous hockey right now.
I'm not playing tonight.
Oh, you guys rescheduled?
Yeah, me and Dank are playing the last week of the season.
Okay, never mind. Then we won't touch on the series. I was going to go over that. I will say this, man. Me and Mr. Greg, a.k.a. Dank, had a combo the other day, man, and I'm rooting for the guy because I've sent him some grade A picks of some of my not-so-great years, and he's got them. and I told him, I said, you can use these pictures only if you win fucking games. And he's not winning any games right now.
If he doesn't win games, do I get the pitchers?
No, that's not how that works.
Yes.
Although I'm pretty sure Ability has access to my shit. I've got nothing to hide anymore. But with that being said, I told Greg, I said, listen, man, or Dank, I said, I don't know if you guys know, I always call people by their first names. I don't know why, I just do. But I told Dank, I'm like, listen, man, I said, here it is. Use them if you win. So I think they're motivated over there. They're an interesting team right now. Again, they've gone through some roster changes. Jim Flanagan's kind of been the backbone in that. Stifling save percentage right now. The goals against aren't, showing that, but he's having a really good run right now. 84 save percentage. Shout out to him. They got Pogs moved up to center. Since moving Pogs to center, he's got 9 games played, 18 points. That's pretty good to see that as well. I Soldier up. DJ's on the back end. He was riding Pine for the first week, and now he's playing D there. Joey Stopa looking to make an impact. 6 goals, no assists. Kind of a weird numbers for him. So I want to do this, man. Right now, because isn't it weird? We're a third of the way through the season, basically. Like, already. Like, it's pretty much 33% and done, man. I'm looking bubble teams. Yeah, man, and we preach it and talk about it all the time, and this shit is no joke. So shout out to a lot of rookie captain trades this year. Shout out to Esso. Shout out to Tomahawk. Shout out to Dank. Shout out to who am I missing? Forget who else.
You done know? Gunny?
You done know? Yeah. Oh, and Cosmic Fate. All rookie captains. A lot of rookie captains this year. Understanding, like, listen, if it's not working, make a change. Esoteric played 6 games and realized, you know what, man? Like, I don't think this is working. I have 2 guys who are playing the same sort of style. I draft teams, and I usually don't trade because I draft people for a reason. And usually my drafts end up working out nicely. So how hard is it, as a captain? Because I don't really trade that much, so I wouldn't know. But you've traded more than I have in one season in my whole career, so I'm going to throw it at you. What is the mindset? I don't think this is going to work. And then how do you make a trade, the components, and figure out, okay, this is going to work? Because 3 for 3, man, that's kind of unheard of. Like, you're swapping half your team. So, like, what was the mindset going into that trade?
Well, I'm going to agree with you. I know this is my first year captaining here, but don't forget, I've captained elsewhere, 5 or 6 times or something like that. And I agree. I have, in the 5 times prior to this league, I made 1 trade. That's it. And it was like a minor deal. I never trade. But this league with that dynamic, like you're saying, 3 games a night, you're 6 in, you're about to be 9 in, and if you don't think the 9's going to go well, why even, you know what I'm saying? The 3 for 3, it worked because Swagger and Dick were kind of like twins, right? And Cosmic really likes them. Me and Cosmic kind of went back and forth, and he just wanted the 2, and so forth and so on. I said, look, if I'm going to make this work, it's got to be 3 for 3. I need Peaceful Bob. A lot of parts moved, but you bring in Marty McFly, who plays a very similar style to me. Me and Marty are basically the same player, but now you flip Zlo for Murph, and this is just me going on what people in the league have said. Oh, Murph's a dangle dicker. He can do some things. He can score you some goals. He can be that guy that you wanted Swagger to be. And no offense to Swagger, of course, he still is that guy. I just had too many of them on my team. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that, I recognized right away, and I made the move, and it's panned out. Like I said, 4-2 against really good teams, and we're just getting started, boys.
Well, and I'm going to send it to Ability because he was kind of on the other end of that 3-on-3. How hard is it to one day have, this unit of 6, and instead of replacing 1 player, you're replacing 3? How's that?
Well, I mean, I was watching the Sober Elitists, and I get to hear about this trade, and I'm like, is this really happening? Like, is this a legit thing? Because I first didn't really know. I mean, how are you going to take Marty McFly from me? How are you going to do that? Like, I was so enraged by that in general. I didn't know what to do. I'm not going to lie to you. Part of me, I mean, I understood what the trade was and who was involved in the trade, and I've been getting along with McSwagger. Me and McSwagger, we like this, okay?
Aren't you a Swagger guy, Ability?
Yeah, no, I am. Don't get me wrong. But I played last season with the Martins, and I mean, I got like this love thing. Like, we could have been triplets. Like, I feel this way, right? Like, I would have cooked them steaks just if they were like, hey, man, I'm hungry. I'd have been like, man, let me fire up the grill. Let's get some steaks going. Here's a brew, bro. It hurt my soul a little bit. Now in exchange here, I was really getting to start to know Bob and Marty and me and Cosmo. We were all creating an open communication line, and we were growing this team, the structure of the team, our play style. It was coming together. And right when this was coming together, this trade comes through. So I've been steamed about it, to be honest with you. And then this week, with this last series we played last night, I had a rough go of it playing net, and we lose every game by 1 goal. I'm missing my left defender. We threw Cosmic on D. We threw Swagger on D. It was a mess, right? So, like, we were trying to make up for it. And so with everything that's happened in this last week, I'm not over it yet. I'm still kind of like crying inside, and hence that's why I'm drinking tequila, guys. That's why I got my damn tequila out. Some people have growing pains. I'm having goalie pains, okay?
Well, and the good news is, man, is that even with those struggles and the games in hand, you guys are only 2 points out of the last playoff spot. So that's something to be said, and that's, again, to be promising. So you're not, sitting in a situation where you're churching yam and you have, 1 win. You guys are in a nice situation where you're still right there in a playoff spot, and, you got to figure it out soon, but it's there. Also, I want to touch on this. Listen, if you guys message me, or I try my best to respond to every single message that I get. I'm never, ever trying to avoid anybody. So shout out to McSwagger, because I didn't realize this until last night. I have about 15 messages from him in my Xbox Live that I never responded to. They're just sitting there. So last night, not even thinking, I respond to him, He's like, oh, hey, man, great show. I'm like, oh, thanks. He's like, oh, my God, you fucking responded to me. So then I had to do a bit of research, and I went back and looked, and sure as shit, man, every time he messaged me, I just never responded. So it's never on purpose. So I'm going to give him a little due on the show, man. Shout out to Mick Swagger.
I was in a party with Mick Swagger when you replied to him, and he was ecstatic. He's like, holy shit. He's like, I think I got like a little bit of a man crush here. Like, he actually replied to me. It was a thing, man.
Yeah, and again, I try my best, but, there's a lot of shit going on in media land. 239 guys, we are doing so much shit. If you don't think it's exciting, the things that we're doing, then you're fucking crazy. We've got championship
Dale, do you need the belt again?
Please.
Do you see it again? Oh, my God. It's just...
Like, guys, listen. Every one of those leagues out there is going to tell you, hey, we're going to get a trophy. We're going to give you the – we have a physical thing, a trophy, a strap, a belt. You are not going to get that anywhere else. And, guys, I hope you know this. 239 family, I hope you know this. Our minds are always working. The media team here, we are always trying to improve and make things better. We have a couple new shows that we're talking about lining up, a potential 239 something that rhymes with Bribs. I'll throw that out there. I'll let you guys do what you want with that. We've got so much stuff, man. Our minds are always working. The Thursday Throwdown team, media team, we talk every single day, guys. We're always trying to make the site better. That is our main goal here. So stay tuned. We have so many big things that I can't even talk about, and I have a big fucking mouth. So I'm not going to go any further because I'm going to spill the beans, so I'm done. With that being said, we covered pretty much everything on the agenda that I had, guys. I'm going to send it around the horn here. If you guys have anything to add, starting with you, Pale Man. Anything you want to add for the show before we sign out here?
Yeah, so I just want to plug something that Yambag's got brewing up. What's it called? So he's got something going on with throwing on this DJ type of music thing. It's just like a little community thing. If you're hanging out on the site, and you're wanting to chill and music playing in the background. So basically, you go into the site and everybody can throw on like a playlist, and it just scrolls through everybody's playlist as you're sitting there. I don't know. It's a 239 hockey thing. It's going to be a community thing. It's going to be integrated onto the site itself. It seems pretty cool. I was messing around with it today with you and Yam. And you kind of just throw your stuff out there, and you like it, you don't. It's whatever. It's going to be a cool addition to the site. It's playlists by other people from the 239 community. It's just it's like the chat box. It's another extension of the chat box through the 239 site. It's another way to get together with the community.
Cool little plug there. Essa, what about you, man? First time on the show. How goes it? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I got a couple things I want to add. First and foremost, I really wanted to thank the three guys that made this happen. And that is Sober Enough, Daly, and Pale Poner. These guys, we came up with the idea, and as soon as we came up with the idea, they were dead set on making it happen, as was I. Something we wanted to do for this league. And, guys, I mean, what's more 239 than an arrogant championship title that you can just wave in everybody's faces? Nothing. That's what this league is. It's a good time. So, really, thank you very much to you three guys, again, Sober, Pale, XDALY, for making that happen. And the other thing I wanted to say real quick, now, apparently, I'm kind of ignorant to this. I don't do the whole Twitch thing. But, Daly, you heard last night, right? During Game 3 of our series, our boy Chew Therapy got sponsored by Twitch. I guess that's a big deal. So
yeah, no, shout out to him. Yeah, he's got the sub button now, man. So, guys, Chew Therapy,
show him some love.
Always is. Yeah, give him a little love over there, man. He's always streaming his games. He was super pumped. Listen, man, that's heat of the battle shit. Now, me and Chewy go back years. This guy was at my fucking wedding. He's like, he texts me, he goes, listen, man, it was right after Game 2. He's like, I know this isn't really the time to do this, but he's like, I just got partnership on Twitch, and I couldn't be anything but happy for him, man. It's fucking awesome, dude. Shout out to Chew, man. He's the greatest. You know, all joking aside that we do on the site, man. He's really a great dude, and it couldn't have happened to a better guy. So shout out to him. So yeah, Esso, great point out there on that too.
I agree, and I'll be hitting that sub button, and I'm not trying to twist anyone's arms, man. But if you're gonna do it for anybody, hit his sub button for real.
Absolutely. So yeah, shout out to Chew, man. Great stuff. I think I just saw him go live as well. AC, want to add anything before we head out here?
Yeah, man. I just want to take a few seconds to say a few things, and it's a little bit unrelated to hockey. As you guys know, I went through a pretty horrible thing the last couple of weeks, and part of the reason I asked to come on the show is to give some love back to some people who I don't know from personal experience other than a video game, and they made some time. They took the time to just check on me, and I want to say thanks to guys like Drift and ESO and Truth Therapy, McSwagger, Min guys. I'm not gonna cry. It's you talk about a fam and some of the stuff that guys said to me, and you can't understand how much it helps even just to have a person just check up on you. So thank you. I appreciate you guys letting me on this show. I haven't been involved in the league that much this season because of it, so it's a bit of a stretch to bring me on, but I thank you, and I thank just people's kindness, so thank you.
Absolutely, man. And, you know, I think that sends a really good message here too, guys, is that, you know, yes, at the end of the day, we're out here, we're having fun, we're busting balls, but, you know, we spend so much time with one another, whether it's in the chat or on the site or in parties, man, in write-ups. You know, to me, at least to me, man, it's not just games. You know, you really develop relationships. Some of my best friends, man, I met Esoteric playing hockey. I met Truth Therapy playing hockey. You know, I met D-Mark playing hockey. You know, these are guys that I'm tight with playing games, you know. So I think that message is real, man. And again, you know, AC, you've been awesome, dude. I've loved working with you. Love being, you know, able to play with you and everything like that. So anything you need, you know, we're all here for you, and, you know, you just let us know. So, you know, shout out to the 239 fam. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to help each other out. So very cool. And everybody who, you know, supported and shouted out and everything like that. Very cool. So Ability, man, close us up, dude. What's it going to be?
All right. Well, to all the people I lost this week on my team, and to all the people that I gained, we got work to do, fellas, but I got faith in each and every one of you. It's hard being on this show because I can't say all the things I want to say because one side or the other is going to get upset. But I want you to know I got love for all of you, just like everybody on this league had love for AC. And that's how I'm going to end it. AC, this one's for you, buddy.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you. It's a good bunch of guys.
God, he's drinking tequila.
He's smashed, man.
He's drinking tequila on a Wednesday fucking night. Don't you work tomorrow?
Look, man, I got to get over this goalie slump, and this is the only thing helping me, all right?
He's just firing shots on fucking on the Wednesday Throwdown. You know, on Thursday Throwdown, you don't drink. But on Wednesday Throwdown, it's all hands off.
Yeah, it messed up my whole cycle, bro.
Yeah, and you guys can thank me for that. That's a forever ongoing joke. Old dad's schedule sucks. Anyways, I know that. But, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Big series starting up in a couple minutes. I'm Daly, Pale, Esoteric, AC, Ability, signing out, boys. Have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.